Hi, my name is Felipa, and this is day 34 of my year-long reading plan of getting through the Bible. So I essentially ended up right here in Numbers chapter 26, and there is a second census of Israel. And so basically the numbers of the people and their families and the factions are taken down. And so it's just a lot of names and a lot of numbers of all the people that are the children of Israel. And then God basically says he is dividing the land for all of these inheritances. And who has the most people gets the most inheritance. Who has the least people gets the least inheritance. And interestingly enough, the daughters of Zelophehad come in and they ask to inherit the land because their father died in the wilderness. And God basically says, yep, they're right. I should give them possession of the inheritance among them. And if the man doesn't have any children or no son, it should go to the daughters. And there's no daughters, then his brethren, and on and on and on. Moses is also, interestingly enough, told of his death. So it says right here, and when thou hast seen it, thou also shalt be gathered unto thy people, as Aaron thy brother was gathered. And we know that Aaron had passed away. So Moses is told that he's going to see the land, which the Lord's giving the children of Israel, and then he's going to pass away. And Moses asks God to appoint his successor. And he specifically says, a person, he's asking for a person which may go out before them, and which may go in before them, and which may lead them out, and which may bring them in, that the congregation of the Lord be not as sheep which have no shepherd. And I really like this little piece, this verse, because Moses is clearly wise enough to say that people need a leader. And God says, you can choose Joshua the son of Nun, in whom there is spirit, and also asks Moses to put some of Moses' own honor upon him, so that the congregation of the children of Egypt may be obedient. There's another section here about observing offerings and the Passover and Pentecost. So just specifications over like how many sacrifices and what types of animals. And then a little section here that says there needs to be a vow made unto God. And if there is a vow, or if you swear an oath to bind your soul with a bond, you cannot break your word. A little section on the exception of a young woman's vow. So basically saying that she can take a vow, bind herself with a bond, but if her father or if her husband essentially refuse her to have that vow, God shall forgive her, because basically it says a husband may establish a vow or her husband may make it void, which kind of goes to denote that women really didn't have a choice and it was men making choice for them. And then we have a really big fight going on. The Israelites defeat the Midianites and kill Balaam. And Moses ends up being angry with the officers because they killed all the men and they kept all the women and the children, but Moses kind of makes it seem here that, not makes it, he says, therefore kill every male among the little ones. So he's saying also, I need you to, you also need to kill all of the males of the Midianites, and also every woman who was known man by lying with him, but keep all the women children who have not slept with a man, essentially, and keep them alive for yourselves. So very complex things, obviously, that I don't like to read or enjoy hearing or knowing that, all these babies and things like that are being killed. So interesting to see where we go from there and what kind of sense I can make of things. And then basically based off of that war, there was a voluntary offering of animals and jewelry and things like that, which came into the possession as a result of the war and the occupancy that the Israelites had over the Midianites. And then it says here, interestingly enough, in chapter 31, verse 53, for the men of war had taken spoil, every man for himself. So tomorrow is day 35. The tribes of Reuben and Gad request land east of the Jordan. Not quite sure what we're going to get into, but I will keep you updated. I'll see you then.